Hey everyone, it's me again, Miranda here, the producer of Truth She Told. Thank you so much for your support for this podcast so far, and your encouragement means so much to us. This passion project also cannot be possible without this group of girls who have been with me from the start of the birthing of the TST community. In this episode, you will be hearing from the OGs of the TST sisters. There's Jessica, Lena, Cheryl, Ellie and I, where we decided to get together to do a light-hearted episode, just us girls having a light banter and conversation about reliving our 20s and how we feel about being in our 30s. So if you're driving right now, drive safely, or if you're exercising, let us join you in burning those calories together. Now let's get to it and have some fun talking!
Hello everyone, welcome to Truth She Told, a space for the everyday Malaysian Christian women to share truthful and honest stories to build, inspire and encourage. Shall we jump right into the hot topic?
The
juice?
Sure.
Let's do this. So today we'll be talking about what is it like being in your 30s. Now that I'm almost 30, so Jess and I, just to give a bit of context, Jess and I are still in our late 20s, okay? We're turning 30, we're born the same year, right, Jess? We're turning 30 next year.
Oh, really?
Yes. My birthday is in December. Then come January, I suddenly need to call myself a 30-year-old. It's like,
So you're turning 30 this year or next year?
Next year.
End of the year,
I will
right?
claim every little bit of 29 while I still can. So no, I'm not turning 30 yet.
Likewise. So yeah, that will be the topic for episode 4. So just to kick off the conversation, we want to warm up with a little bit of kind of like a flash quiz, I would say. So a bit of a true and false question, right, for Miranda, Ellie, and Cheryl. So we have a bunch of questions here, but we're going to let you guys choose numbers, 2 each, between 1 to 7. Cool?
Then we lightning round.
lightning
So
round.
it's like a rapid fire thing.
Rapid
It's
fire
okay.
question.
Okay,
Yeah.
bring it on.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, maybe we start with Ellie first. You can choose 2 numbers.
2 and 7.
2 and 7. All right. So the first question, true or false? The first question, I had more fun in my 20s than my 30s.
True.
Wow, really? Oh no.
Is it because
I think you gotta
mom?
describe fun later, okay? Describe fun.
Yeah, okay.
You can describe now.
You
also.
can
Okay,
elaborate
I'll give some context. So, I think I had more fun in my 20s than my 30s because in my 20s, I did a lot of group sports. So, I could do futsal, football, I could do, dragon boat.
Ellie was quite
And
athletic.
It was really
Yes.
fun, and going to the gym and all that. And then when I hit 30s and then now with a kid, it's that is just out of the window. So,
Oh.
What is it? Is it time or is it like body? You cannot do sports anymore.
Body cannot take it
to
anymore.
To be fair, I injured quite a lot of my joints, I guess. So I guess body and time, yeah. For now, we don't know. Maybe in the future when
Who
Kyla's
knows? You'll be
older.
like an amazing futsal mom, like bring your kid.
Soccer mom.
Yeah,
Soccer
Yeah,
mom,
yeah.
but the soccer mom is in the
yeah.
field, you know?
I have
Exactly.
I have my friends that
Is that dreams?
yeah,
your
they
dream?
do that.
Yeah, bring it on. One day I'll
Nice,
definitely
nice.
see you there.
Okay.
With your
Number
little boy.
7. Bring it on.
All right. The second question, number 7. I feel more beautiful in my 20s than in my 30s. True or false? False.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That
Okay.
is
I
interesting.
actually feel like I was really looking forward to turning 30. I don't know. I somehow feel more comfortable in my own skin, I guess.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
So what? That means getting fat is not even an issue anymore. It's like, I still
Kinda.
feel comfortable. I
Is
still
it
feel
because
kind
like you're married liao, so don't worry.
I
Tend
don't
to be.
Sudah taken, no need to worry liao.
Yeah, good.
Is that could that be it?
Well,
I mean, is that one
I
of the
would think I
reasons?
look good in my 20s, but I also think that
Mm.
I feel more comfortable in my 30s. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Maybe like what Miranda said, you don't really have to worry that much. Like, if you already hit 30 and you're like, okay, fine.
Can I ask this? Does your husband call you beautiful every day?
No, obviously not.
Why, right? Why?
I cannot imagine him doing that. Like he'll be like, what?
I, not,
Like, wait, what is it?
I'm sure some guys like do that. I'm sure some husbands do that. Not mine.
Not mine either. It's like, what you want?
You guys to the top, no lah. All right, awesome. Thanks, Ellie. Okay, next, let's go with Cheryl.
Sure.
You have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let's do 1 and 3.
1 and 3. All right. The first question, true or false? I had more friends in my 20s than in my 30s.
True.
Oh.
You want to share a little bit more?
I think
why
like-
is that so?
I think like I think in your 20s you have this this pressure to always want to go out, to always want to do things with people. And generally, I think as I settle into my 30s, I have embraced my introversion, and I'm actually absolutely fine with it. I think
Totally understand.
It's
also
okay, no need to be influencer.
You need to fit in already, right?
Social
Yeah.
media.
and with and the whole MCO thing, I'm just like,
Secretly
I was like,
rejoicing.
no.
I mean, of course, I do enjoy. I think I'm more picky in the sense that I'm more intentional in how I spend time with people now.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
time, honestly, you just like, oh yeah, you make a lot of small talk, and as introverts, who all the introverts out there, it's so tiring. Honestly, you're like, I do not want to talk about the weather or even. Or I don't know, whatever it is, that goes on. But so yeah, I feel that now I have lesser friends, but I have more
Quality.
real friends.
Nice.
Or like quality friends, yes.
Interesting.
I hope we are the quality friends.
For sure.
We better be.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Give you
awesome.
Korean heart nah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So Cheryl got this question leh. I wish I was a Tai now that I'm in my 30s.
Absolutely. True. 100%, 200%.
Really?
You want to be Tai?
I think because
Legit?
Who doesn't want to be Tai Tai?
I want to know more about this.
think it's
I
more-
thought you would be the last person who want to be Tai leh. I thought you were gonna go absolutely not, and you went absolutely.
Yeah, I was expecting the not to come out.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Explain,
maybe I'll
explain.
explain why. Because I
Please
mean,
do.
in context, I own my own business. And I've been having my own business. I started my business in my 30s, when I entered my
Wow.
30s. And then I think, and as being a photographer, is very physically taxing. And I think especially now we're in this season of December, right? I mean, I can say the month, I hope. And it's just so I'm so tired, honestly. And I think as I hit my 30s and I'm already mid-30s, I'm like, why do I have to work? This is what men are for, right? To take care of the woman, right?
This is what men are.
I mean, like it is
burn.
in my tiredness and my exhaustion of being a strong, independent woman. But I'm just like, at times I feel that I wish I could share the financial burden of living in KL with someone else. That's what I mean. Like maybe Tai is maybe pushing it, but I don't mind sharing the burden and not just bearing the burden on my own, especially
That's a good
in my
one.
30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cheryl. That's a really good one.
Good one. Yeah.
All right. Now we're on to Miranda.
Wow. What do I have left? Was it
Okay.
4, 5, 6?
You have 4, 5, 6, yes.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna go with 4 and 6 lah.
4 and 6, Okay. The first
Okay.
question, true or false? I wish I could turn back time and be 20 again.
Oh, that's a good one. I would say
20,
I
you know.
would say false.
False.
Yeah, I like being
Why,
in
ah?
my 30s. I think to some extent, like when I'm in my 20s, it was actually a period of discovering who I am, and a lot of like banging malls and stuff like that. And I think now that I'm hitting my 30s, right, or rather I'm already in my 30s, I'm a little bit more certain of where my calling is, or maybe things that I feel that I'm passionate about. I know who I am in my skin better. You know, last time when I was in my 20s, I have a lot more insecurities in a sense where because I was still trying to find myself, like, oh, am I an extrovert or an introvert or whatever? And sometimes all these labels, very interesting one, right?
Yeah.
Like we kind of like discover it as we go along.
Yeah.
And when I hit my 30s, I think I felt that I'm a little bit more certain of maybe even the way I communicate with people, the way I talk with people. So I'm more secure in that sense, if I can say that. So I would prefer to be in a place where I feel that I know who I am. So in my 30s, I definitely would say falls to the 20s lah. Love those moments. I don't discount those years of growth, but I feel more alive that I'm in my 30s, I would say. Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Happy for you.
Practically speaking, you got more money in your 30s also lah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then now I can
More
buy
stable.
nicer things. Last time I used to like look at all the discounts and stuff like that. It's really interesting. Even the type of dustbin I buy now is like slightly nicer. You know, things like that, you know.
Branded.
True.
Yeah.
Makes
Like
a
now,
big
okay,
difference.
get
lah.
this stainless steel
Automatic.
one. Last time I had to buy like
Plastic.
IKEA punya like plastic RM4 dustbin. Things like that, you know. So I feel like to some extent, like there's some form of security. And I felt that I have more freedom, so to speak. Like more freedom to actually, you know, like we used to think like, oh, in our 20s, like, yes, we are free, that kind of thing, right? Wow, I feel as you grow and as you age, right? For me lah, I would say I feel that I am more free now, more freedom to make choices. I have perhaps even more financial freedom to purchase things that I want, go to the kinds of holidays that I want. Because also, to some extent, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm living on my own. When I'm in my 20s, I live with my parents. So I'm still bound by, I don't know how
Don't
many
ask
of you,
permission.
Yeah.
I'm still bound by their, I guess, like being under their roof and all that, right? You know, what
Yeah.
time I
More
come home also,
curfew.
I have to tell them, you know, like, hey, where you? Drop something
Yeah.
already, you know, you get phone calls and stuff like that, right? But now I'm like, hey, yeah, come back 2 a.m. also, nobody knows, okay lah, you know, that's
Nobody
that's-
asked, right?
Yeah. So that's for me lah.
Okay, your last question.
Okay,
Oh,
bring it on.
Miranda got a deep one, say. I did a lot of more things I regret in my 20s than in my 30s.
Wow, regret ah.
Whoa.
Well, I have to say true or false, is it?
Yeah.
That's the only way ah. I would say false also. Because like I don't
No
see
regrets.
because I think for me like I don't see regrets as or I don't see mistakes as regrets lah, if that's what we're saying here. Because like if it's actually all these like mistakes that I've done that helped me grow. So I think maybe because I generally skew towards being quite optimistic and I like to see things on a brighter note. So I would say false because mistakes are mistakes, like, you know, breakups lah, or like wrong financial mistakes. I've made tons of them, but when I look back, it made me realize what I didn't want and what kind of things that I ought to do. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm a little bit wiser lah, something like that. So I don't see those as regrets. I think I see it as growth more than regrets lah. So I say false. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because see, Lina and I, before preparing for this podcast, right, we were both saying how the scariest thing about turning 30 is the fact that it is 30, like 30, you know. So it's like, oh my gosh, my life is going to end, like it's 1 decade over, I'm like going to die soon, or like, you know,
come
one
on.
phase is over already. And so, okay lah, y'all say it's happy, good lah, okay lah, then I guess that makes me happy too.
Yeah, but related to that, right? Like from Miranda, Ellie, and Cheryl, when you guys were 29, and knowing that your birthday is tomorrow and you're turning 30, like going to the third series, what were your first feelings about it?
Do you still remember? I'm just trying to
course.
recall. So.
I
you
just
do?
remember.
Cheryl remembers well.
Yeah. Cheryl,
maybe
go
you wanna
first.
go first?
I mean, because I made a decision, I think when I graduated at 27. I'm a late bloomer. Like, I graduated in college only when I was 27. So it wasn't very far, you know, to 30. So I only had 3 years to work before I hit my 30s. And I decided, you know what, before I hit 30, I really wanted to go to YWAM, Youth with a Mission. So I did what I could. I mean, I worked, I saved, and then finally I actually celebrated my 30th birthday in Bali on base.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it was very special to me because I know that I made a decision that I wanted to enter my 30s by finishing because YWAM was always like a dream in my 20s. I only became a Christian early 20s, right? And I always wanted to do it. And I always remember the late Kevin Tan say, if you want to do it, just do it. So, okay, I put that line 30. And then on the day of my birthday, the midnight of my birthday, all of them are all quite young. You know, YWAM is all filled with those who just finished high school,
20-ish.
not even 17-year-olds,
Oh, really?
18-year-olds, and I'm like
Oh, it's
30,
really young.
you know.
You're like
and
the big sister there, right?
yeah. And then that night itself, my roommate, who was only 17, she say, Kak, I mean, like, we call that Kak, can you just come upstairs? And I'm just like, I'm in bed, man. Why you even come upstairs? And I wasn't even, I mean, just like put it out, I was in my pajamas, okay? And then
Because you were turning 30 and you're like, I should sleep early.
yeah,
is
and
it?
then the next day there's still classes, you know, because it was still in the middle of classes, a part of DTS. And I'm just like, come on, I'm already wearing my retainers. I'm not even, it's just so
It's
awkward.
like almost sound like I'm in my auntie mode right
Yeah,
now.
I like
Don't
auntie mode
kacau
on,
me.
you know, and then I just washed my hair. I like literally I went up with a towel around my neck in my pajamas, and my whole class was there. I'm just like,
Oh.
Oh.
but they decorated the class. They wrote my name on the board.
Aw.
They drew,
So sweet.
and I'm just like,
Wow.
it was worth it. And I just that wow, if everyone could, because like everybody at over 30 have like a bash, right? I'm just like, this really made it for me lah.
This is a unique
Aw.
story. I don't think
It
anybody has showed
is.
up to their 30th birthday with
Like
a
that.
towel.
I know,
That's
right?
definitely
It's
something
like
to remember.
I'm
It's like-
officially entering auntie mode
Yeah.
wearing my crown right now. What's up? You know?
Talk about being comfortable in your own skin, right?
Totally like going. Yeah. So
Oh
that
wow,
was
that's so
me.
good.
So
So good.
awesome.
Wow.
What about Ellie and Miranda?
Ellie, you wanna go
When you're
first?
at- You go first.
I was looking forward to my 30s actually. So
Oh.
yeah, when I was 29, I was like, okay, gonna turn 30, like really looking forward to have the big dreams.
Why?
I
Like-
don't know. It's just
What was happening
Feels
at your
like-
season that time?
feels like I became an adult. I think
Really?
It kicked in a bit late, is it, for you?
The rest of us are adulting for much longer.
wait, I think I got engaged when I was 30.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay lah, so you had that to look forward to at 30s.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, I didn't
yeah.
expect to be
Getting
engaged.
married.
Yeah.
Got
I don't know. I
something to
just
look
felt like
forward
it
to.
was like, but I didn't know I was going to get engaged, right? But I just felt like, oh, okay, like leaving my 20s behind. Maybe I felt like, 20s, like what Miranda said, you make a lot of mistakes. You're not like comfortable. You're still like trying to figure out who you are and stuff like that. And then 30s, like, okay, I'm turning a new chapter in my life, and like I'm ready to take it on and like, go all out. Being an adult, like officially an adult.
Wow.
That's
I don't
how it
know.
felt.
People keep telling me I'm already an adult.
I don't
now.
know. When 20s, I feel like I don't know. I just felt like when I'm in my 20s, I still feel a bit immature. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
I also do feel immature.
Still feel like a kid.
I like
Immature.
that.
My first time hearing that word.
Yeah, even more immature than immature.
Yeah, still feel like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
What about you,
Okay.
Miranda?
I think interestingly, when I turned 30 at that time, it was a turning point. It was a milestone for me because I think at that point in time, I was just about entering ministry, like basically left the corporate job and then decided to come in full time. I think I was just a couple of years in. And then I was still trying to find my way around, like what's my purpose here? Do I have a full-time calling as a I guess like serving God full-time lah in that sense. And I was still trying to find my way. And I think turning 30, I always associate this to Jesus turning 30. I know it's okay, I'm getting a little bit spiritual here, but I think at the
That's
point in time,
okay.
because I was 30 and I started to reflect on those moments lah, where when Jesus turned 30, it was that time when he actually started his ministry
Ministry, yeah.
itself. And then he had 3 years of that and all that, and then he finished his work, right? So I guess like when I was hitting that age, I kept thinking about it. It's like, God, so is this it? Like where are you going to show me this is where I'm going to start off with, and this is where I'm going to call me into and all that. So for me, it was a whole lot of bumps, I would say, because I was still trying to find my way around. But I think one thing I learned is really to just stay the course and just be faithful to where your place lah. Like let's say sometimes like we are at this space where sometimes you are trying to figure things out. You want to go here and there and things like that, right? But one thing I learned is that if let's say there is no door open, stay at where you're at and stay your course. And that's one of the things that I learned, and I stuck around, and I felt that, when the right time came, I was a little bit more certain, as I continue to be just faithful to what I'm actually doing lah. So that was 30, I think, when I actually turned into that phase. I was trying to find my way around, and I think it was a, huge new chapter of my life lah. Yeah. So that's for me. Yeah.
Thanks, girls.
Mm.
Awesome stories, actually. But of course, like with Ellie being super positive, turning 30, I think just we have something to learn from there lah.
That
Yeah.
also is like
I like how she's so
Yeah.
But
excited.
why the dread,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just 30. Like the number is bigger,
Exactly.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's I can't say I'm in my 20s anymore.
You have to
It's
feel
I feel
like
I'm
you're-
30,
You're like,
And then
why?
it's also, I don't know. Because I guess it's like maybe when you're in your 20s, you still feel like there's a lot of insecurities that you want to compare with other people. Like what have you achieved, right? So I got one more year left to achieve my bucket list of like what of my peers are doing also.
Yeah.
I feel like once I turn 30, that deadline is like, gone already. That's it. If I don't hit any of my bucket
Curious.
list or like
Curious, what's your bucket list, since like you still have a couple of days to go?
You have a year?
no, I have a year.
A year. Okay.
No,
A
yeah.
couple of
A year
years.
away from
Okay, a couple of months to go. So is there like a bucket list that you want to do and all that kind of stuff that yeah, just curious.
I really wanted to travel more. Like I wanted to go.
Blame it on COVID. You cannot do that.
I
Yeah.
wanted to be. I wanted to. Okay, so one of my dream holidays is I want to go to US and just kind of like spend 30 days there, eating and getting fat in every state. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so in order to do that, right, I need money and I need time, right? So COVID has stolen time, and then like money is like, I don't know, just depend on your increment or bonus that year lah, right? But so it's things like this I didn't get to hit, right? Like in order to accomplish my dream. And then next time when you have kids, how am I gonna take off 1 month to go and like get fat in US, right? Like how's that? So that's the part that I'm scared lah. I'm scared that I'm going to lose all of these dreams that I had that I didn't get to do, and then I just have to forget about it now and move on with life.
Can do it in 30.
Just
no
change,
worries.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just change
move it to the next
point.
decade.
There's still hope,
Ah,
Jess.
really,
Yeah.
meh? Like,
Yeah, say before 35.
Before 35, still got
Yeah.
chance.
are we just gonna cheat every half
Yes.
decade?
35 can be the new 25, right, Jess?
Yeah, it can, I'm sure.
I don't know lah. I really don't know.
What about
hope
Lina?
so.
Why were you dreading your 30s?
I am not. I think it's more of like I am, because you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like when you're in your 30s, right? Especially career, or if you're getting married, are you gonna have kids by 33, for example? Like my aim is to be a mom by 33 lah, for example, right? And I think I'm not afraid of that. It's just that as you're approaching 29, now that you're 29, right? Even turning 29 was like 1 more year to 30. I had that feeling when I was turning 29. It was that night when I turned 29, right? And I was like thinking about my life. Like it was just a flashback of all the things that I've done in the past decade. Like what was I like in the 20s? Was I proud of myself in the 20s? What have I achieved in my 20s, right? But of course, honestly speaking, like I feel like I'm not there yet. Like to be where I feel like I can call my own zone. Like how Cheryl has found a business, which was something I wanted to do. But perhaps
as accomplished as Cheryl lah, the rest of us are normal people who
Yeah,
work
so-
for other people.
everyone's dreams and desires are different. Everyone accomplished things in different ages. So I really feel like listening to all three of you, it gave me a bit of hope lah. Like I know that okay, it's not too late. Like it's not the end of life, when you turn 30, it's still a lot more to go. There's still a lot of things to do. Jess, you can definitely go US, COVID's gone. You can go US.
I don't
and-
know. I'm skeptical. I feel like I'm going to learn the hard way, guys. Call
if
me
you-
again in 10 years.
Remember, 35 is the new 25.
Yes.
So
I remember the older you are, the more financial freedom you have, so you
Yes,
can spend
that
more
is
in
true.
US.
Yes,
That's
you can
good
stay.
too.
You don't have to
Also
stay in
lah.
backpackers.
You don't
can
have to
stay in
eat-
nicer places.
Yeah, you can eat in a nicer restaurant.
True also lah. But then you grow old and like tired and like I don't know about you, but I already got back pains and I sit here in front of you guys for like 1 hour plus.
Sure,
also
I
got,
had that since
like,
25.
shoulder
so.
pain already. Like,
That's after 25. You also having your 20s.
okay, does it get worse? Does do you feel more tired now that you're in your 30s?
Cheryl's nodding
Absolutely.
head.
I mean, okay,
Wow.
let's face reality. I think one of my biggest fears of turning 30 was actually the physique, the body, because of aging, right? You know, how some people say you totally lose it completely, and I'm just like, how really? The next day you wake up, suddenly everything is just gone, right? Is it? But
Like switch and then suddenly no more.
I'm old.
So drama, man.
No, I mean, like it's
No,
like
it's
it's like
true.
how people talk about
Yeah,
how
yeah.
your 30s bodies are. Don't even think about it. But I think there is truth to it where your metabolism, it does slow down.
It
Yeah.
does.
It is
does.
harder to just eat whatever you want and then
Yeah.
lose it. You really have to work harder to
Yes.
lose the weight.
Yeah.
And then
no.
This is the
Aiyo, I'm
reality.
just
It's a
gonna be like a fat
reality.
30-year-old.
But to be fair, some 30 plus look really, really good, and they're
Yes,
like
but
it's
they
true.
work for
genetic.
it. They do work for it. It's genetics or they
Yeah.
work for it.
It's both.
Yes.
Some are
It's
just
both.
naturally skinny. Look at Pastor
Mm.
Lee
Okay
Chun.
lah,
But
I'm a
skinny
bit
doesn't
lazy
mean
ah.
they're healthy.
It's
So there's a
true.
difference between like, being fit and then slightly maybe
yeah.
bulkier or whatever, or
Yeah.
and healthy at the same time. So there's a difference there lah. So we kind of need to know how to differentiate that. Yeah.
I mean, like, because on that note, because of the physique, right? I think also as you have more money, that's when you're able to spend more money on more quality food
Yes.
and also the better gyms
Yeah.
as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think at
And
the end of the day,
spas.
and the spas, I think at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge that no matter what age we are at, whatever stage we're at, right? We just have to be ready to adopt the active lifestyle, activeness as a lifestyle, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't let it stop you from having children. You can't let it stop from you from going and do that. I really want to do the same dream of going to US and going to eat all these things. It shouldn't stop it.
Yeah.
But I just know that I can work it off. I can. Even though in my
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah, because you can't just eat and get fat and don't exercise.
Yes.
That's like unwise to begin with lah, right? But I think one of the things, since we're actually talking about like weight and stuff, right? I suddenly had this thought, like from a different perspective but somewhat similar, is the idea of capacity. Because I was actually looking back when I was in my 20s, right? Quite funny lah. I can share my stories when I first started working and all that, right? I realized like how limited I am in terms of capacity when I first started off. Like, I get overwhelmed very easily because of workload and stuff like that. Like, wow, like suddenly the deadline is so and so and so and these kind of things, right? Then sometimes when I look at my seniors back then, I used to be in the audit line and research line in consulting and all that, right? I don't know how I can see them handle so much. And they are, of course, a lot older than me. And I know that they are well beyond their years ahead of me. And so when I look at them, I was like, wow, how you handle all these things on like all the crazy stuff at the top and stuff like that. And here am I being a coochie rat and like I'm crying here already. And I've had those moments, like when I first started off, I was so overwhelmed. I sit one corner and cried because of work. Things like that, I mean, I don't know lah, maybe it's just me lah, I'm the like small little mouse or whatever. Then now that I look back, right, I really believe that it is growth law, like, in the years that to come, you actually grow in your capacity one. Like whether it's physical fatness, but this one I would say is capacity in I think ability to take in more, something like that. And when I hit my 30s, right, I realized now that I'm in this space, I have more capacity to take more in whether is it work or even family commitments and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure even like for, Ellie, maybe you can even say lah, now like suddenly if you realize it's like things don't get lesser in your life.
Yeah.
Things will come in
Get more.
But
That's
yeah,
true.
it'll get more. But somehow you'll be like,
Make it
how
work.
did I even handle it? You just make it work, right? So I think that's the beauty about I guess growing
Aging.
up and adulting. Yeah, aging. So I don't see aging as a bad thing. I think aging can grow us, stretch us, and at the same time, when you look back, it's like, wow, look at how much I grow. I don't cry over these small little things anymore. But now I'm a little bit more maybe mature. I'm maturer. If I can say that. Maturer to be able to take on all these challenges, and then now that
Yeah.
I look back, I feel that is capacity loss. So just thought I wanted to share that. Just something that came to my mind lah. Yeah.
Also, right,
A good one.
I wanted to say, right, like if you embrace your aging, you will have so much more joy and be so much more happier in life. Whereas, like, if you're always dreading it, like, oh, I'm aging, like, I'm growing another year older, I don't know, somehow I just feel like you just dread it. Like, every year and then you look at yourself, and then maybe you think, like, oh, look, I'm aging, like, I look older now, and you're not happy, then you don't feel comfortable in your skin. Like, I just don't feel like that's the way to live your life, lah. So,
if I can summarize what I'm hearing from all of you guys, or at least for our entire conversation, and using Miranda's word of capacity, it sounds as if in your 30s you kind of literally become a bigger person. Okay. I guess literally,
metaphorically.
Yes.
but like a bigger person in terms of your mental capacity to take nonsense from others. Your spiritual capacity also increases. And then another thing my colleague also said, which you can correct me if I'm wrong, he said that as your 30s, then your friend's parents starts to pass away.
Yes.
So then life
Yeah.
becomes bigger. Like you've all these kind of experiences also become a lot bigger. As every last questions are, any tips for 29-year-old turning 30? One more year time limit, right? What can we do? Like, what should we do?
You make it sound like as if like you're gonna die next year.
No way. It feels like that.
Suddenly 30 and
It's like-
everything is off limits.
How?
Yeah, what is this?
There's no more
There's
life.
no need. No, see, I tell you. Okay, so why I also ask this question, right? Is because I have this boss, okay, or my ex-boss rather, that said, while you're young, right, you should just spend money. Like, don't listen to people say you need to save money while you're young lah, and then invest in whatever lah, right? He's saying that look, people like I mean, if you're privileged and you have like a university degree and you have a decent job, right? There's no other time in your life that you're able to just be reckless with like and buy things that you want. So just buy whatever. I mean, of course, within your capacity lah, right? But don't be afraid to go and buy that handbag, or don't be afraid to go and buy that a little bit more expensive, like, I don't know, meal or whatever, and buy a drink. You can afford to buy a drink as well. You don't have to like not buy a drink. So and when you grow up and become in 30s, you have to start saving for family and start saving for whatever. So that's something that my boss told me lah. So I was thinking like, okay, I've got one more year to spend money and like enjoy before next year my money doesn't belong to me anymore. It will belong to like, I don't know,
when the kid comes, is
my
it?
plant, dog and kids.
That's true.
I can say in your last year, eat all you want. Whatever you want to do,
Very
just
practical.
Very
do it.
good tip. That's
Yeah.
a
Very
very
good
good tip.
tip.
Just
Yeah.
do it, because after this, you have to think twice.
Your stomach, your stomach will not allow you.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
no.
Starbucks, you have to think scheme, please. You know, like you have to.
Yes.
Or
You wanna drink
all
coffee?
the sugar level and everything, right?
Or
Okay.
coffee after 2.
Yeah.
After that, you cannot have coffee after 2. Otherwise, you'll be awake the whole night.
Oh no.
For me, I would say, just say yes to opportunities right now. In your, you're not tied down
That's
yet.
a good one.
Yeah, you're not tied down yet. So, especially Lina, I mean, Jess, I don't know, like, depending how flexible Michael is, but just say yes to like whatever opportunities come your way. Try it, even if you fail, it doesn't matter, because this is like the time that you can do everything or anything you want to do without having to worry about kid, family, responsibilities, reporting to someone else, Yeah.
That's
I like
very
that.
True.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a good one, Ellie. Thanks.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Final thoughts.
just say yes.
yes.
So if anything goes wrong, I just say Ellie told me to say yes. So I just try, like,
Remember what Ellie
Hey,
said?
but you know
Yeah.
what? That yes that you
Episode 4.
said, that maybe something happened would be a very fun story to tell in your 30s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that will be in the next podcast,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Next
We'll have
next
another
podcast.
20-year-old come and ask us this question next
Yeah,
time.
and then
right?
Jess will be
Like,
sharing her
it's
story because one lady once told me this. I said yes.
it's like I'm gonna pass this message down to all the 20-years also. So.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for sharing all of your awesome stories. I think from what I've heard right now, I don't think I'll be afraid of turning 30. So thank you so much, sisters. So if
Yay.
you like our content, please follow us on YouTube and Spotify. You can find us at truthshetold.my. Till then,